Hello, YouTube. It's your main man, BTM. What up, X? We're back. Can't hold me down. That's weird. Yeah, so just getting some settings set. You know why? Something happened with the sound machine. I think I just turned the volume down. But whatever. We're doing it all live. But we're back. We're here. It's your main man, BTM, for Kaspa. So we're going over some development updates, what's really going on the project, what is going down. And I'm not back, been here the whole time, but just being checking to see what's going on with the project. Been a lot of weirdness, dibs, and the political comments, a lot of YouTubers fudding, a lot of haters, but we are back and we are here and we are live. Shout out to the Kaspa fam. And I was actually trying to record the Kaspa. Some kind of way it got deleted. So I got to record that back over again. But this is, remember, dance with who brought you to the party. Don't forget that. See if we can get the screen share going. Don't forget to join your main man BTM on Twitter. Main Twitter feeds and the X updates. So we're back and we are live. Dang it. Just we'll take this one down and hopefully the new one pops up. And there we go. We are live. We are back. Can you hear me? Still no sound? Okay, we live. Okay, we cool. So shout out to the Kaspa Army, the Kaspa Warriors. Kaspa's going to the moon. So we're getting back to development updates. This is the daily Cas KNS.Cas announced updated interface rolling out. And I was actually looking at it. This is kdsdomain.com, but I got to set up my other address. And I low key just installed the Casware wallet because this is a newer computer. So I don't know. I might make a new key phrase to connect to check out this new UI is going live this week. So there's lots of developments starting to happen again. I guess the Kaspa army is woken up. The Kaspa dev team is getting ready to finish the crescendo, which brings to 10 BPS. This is 72 hours of BPS Kaspa on Rust. Don't be a code, run a node. And this is the node setup. I think I was running a node previously. Actually, I could fire that computer back up too. I got some Kaspa miners coming in. So I want to know what you guys think about Kaspa mining. Increasing your privacy while using Kaspa. Watch on YouTube. So shout out to Kaspa Silver. And this is the testnet 11, which is coming. Kaspa designs hundreds of times faster than the Bitcoin while keeping the POW level of security. Each Kaspa transaction is confirmed to the network in 1 second. Bitcoin takes 10 minutes. Each transaction is finalized in 10 seconds. And this is the upgrade we have been waiting for. And it's supposed to roll out in April, either the end of February, which is next week. But I think the 10 BPS upgrade rolls out next week. And Marathon Holding has their quarterly reports tomorrow, February 26th at 5 p.m. So it's definitely going to be interesting as well. We'll see what Marathon is saying about the earnings report, how much Casper they mined, how much they sold to Bitcoin, and what the probability is on the mining. This is Pompolipsky. We were at extreme fear. So now is a good time to buy Caspa. And a lot of people were in Caspa and got out, and a lot of people hold a lot of Caspa. So we'll see what people have to say about that as well. Only 680 XRP. So let's look at the bubbles real quick. Swarm's up 621.7. I'm glad I picked that swarm up. Moodang's 15.4, Baby Dodge 3.3, Pudgy Penguin 10.5, Ordnance 8.5, Peanuts on the run 17.6, Quant 11.5, Turbo 8.9, Nero 13.3, Virtual 7.8, AI XBT 11.6, AIZ16 5%. Guess we can close the bubbles. And looking at the Kaspa dashboard, been wow, 1.4 TPS, 1.3 BPS. So the network's definitely creeping on up. Next reduction, 62 KS rewards. So this is the testnet 11. The testnet networks run the first public 10 BPS Kaspa experiment. The goal is to document and provide a quick guide for anyone who wants to participate. In the future, testnet 11 will act as a staging zone for all sorts of experiments, allowing us to stress test various approaches and ideas on the global scale. With the participation of the community, the approach we decide to adopt will be to stress test longer periods on testnet 10 before being incorporated into mainnet. So there's the CAS pad, the CAS miner, and the Rothschild transaction generator. So basically, you turn the CAS pad on, you run the miner, and you do this Rothschild generator, which generates transactions. So they can test the testnet 11, which is the 10 PPS. So we're finally making upgrades to the network. Testnet 11 uses dedicated P2P port 16311. So the nodes use a usual testnet 10 do not automatically attempt to connect to it. This is more information if you guys want to try that. So this is BitGet earlier this year, talking about the Kaspa KIP02 upgrade transaction consensus mechanism, which is the upgrade to the dog nagged, the dog night protocol, the Crescendo hard fork to increase the production to 10 BPS, improving scalability and transactions. That's the DAG night, actually. Ongoing series of upgrades designed to improve scalability, transaction efficiency, and overall network ability, with recent developments focus on a faster block production, protocol optimizations, and smart contract integration. The network seems to enhance its competitive position in the blockchain infrastructure. So, like I was saying previously in the last video, competition comes to Ethereum with XRP and their fees, uh, low fee transaction and faster transaction processing. People start to move off the Ethereum network and could possibly be looking for a cheaper alternative, i.e., Kaspa. And this is Caspa's greatest advantage, right? It's relatively not used and is not fully being, I guess, advertised or open or exposed to the full ecosystem. So as people come and they look for networks to build on or faster, scalable, and cheaper fees, Caspa's going to be right there, the shiny object on the ground to pick up. Scaling back production 10 BPS with the Crescendo hard fork. One of the most impactful updates is the Crescendo hard fork aims to increase block production rates from 1 to 10 blocks per second, already in testnet under 11. This upgrade seeks to improve the transactions. The hard fork is scheduled for early 2025. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen, cats and dogs? It is 2025. Ensuring throughout testing before activation on the mainnet, developers confirm Caspa's infrastructure is capable of sustaining increasing block rate, potentially enhancing transaction process efficiently while maintaining network scalability. So this is the roadmap for the Kaspa Crescendo. Overall, all project progress, launch completed, improvements, identified bottlenecks, additional features, enhanced user experience is ongoing. Additional features is ongoing. Deployment transition to testnet end of February. Today is February 25th, so the end of February is now, this week. So we should see it go to testnet 11 to mainnet sometime within the next week or so, right? April mainnet deployment. So it is April. Hard fork version by the end of March. And as the hard fork comes, people will be, the hard fork comes, people will be able to build on the 10 BPS network. That is weird. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Get the comments going. Where you at? See you guys finally pouring in, making sure we are live. So this is, trying to see if there's a date on this. And this is January 25th. No new updates in the testing. Upgrade consensus to following the Dagnite protocol is still in development. Interesting. Let's see, mobile wallet completed. Archival nodes still in development. Smart contracts is the other feature. Is to become the fastest, most scalable, secure L1 proof of work crypto. Already reached this benchmark. Still seems some fine tuning to peak performance, yada, yada, yada. The broader goal is to create ultimate layer one to implement smart contracts DeFi, layer two applications over it, and hopes that the future ecosystem will arise on Kaspa that will be strong foundation for a wonderful community that help birth it. So we will see. And this is Kaspa 2025 updates. This is a month ago. So there's actually no new news, which is weird because there's a lot of stuff coming out. You would think there would be something, anything going on with Kaspa, or a lot of announcements, or just some pros, right? Get some exposure, get some people looking, talking, pushing, looking for Kaspa merch, looking for Kaspa articles, YouTube, everything going down. Kaspa IPO2 upgrade transitions consensus mechanism to DAG-Night, increasing the transactions. And this is still a month ago. Bot production to 10 BPS. I was going to talk about the mechanism. The DAG-Night consensus. KPO2. What up, LB? Somebody, anybody. I figured I'd stay in here long enough, somebody would start popping up. The shift introduces benzene fault tolerance up to 15%, improving both security and processing speed. Unlike traditional blockchains, Jagnite does not rely on fixed latency parameters, making it more resilient against network interruptions, i.e., Ethereum. Let's see here. Swams is up 20%. So let's look. Kaspa's currently 2.3 billion. Still in the 8-cent mark, down 0.18% in the last hour, 1.2% in the day, 7 on the week, 28% in the last 30 days, 46% on the year. A rough year for Kas. Let's see here. Check out the 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart does show a couple of green candles. The MACD cross lost some volume. 5-hour chart is showing still bouncing off the 0.09. Up and down, up and down. Looks like there's some volume building, so it might get back to 10 cents. So look at the 4-hour chart. Came down, but everything else to 0.08. Should have picked some up there. It's back at 9, but it's still way down, right? Oh, wow. Went down to 0.07. See if we can look at a week chart. See what's going on the weekly. So it looks like it peaked November, came back up in January last year. Came down in September, peaked a little bit in November, and it's been down since December. What is this? Got to 17 cents now. Is pretty much half price. So let me know if you guys been picking up, stacking, and holding your Kas. Guess we'll go back to X. Actually, we already did the X. Looking at the addresses, looks like the addresses, wow, dipped down to 15,000. What day is that? Saturday? Sunday? And looks like there's been some buying yesterday back up to 15,000 and now it's at 18,000. Pick up another 35K Kas. Looks like there's some node activity. Say anything about, there's not. Nobody's using the Go nodes, the 10 PPS node yet. I think that's me actually. Is that? I guess that is me. I need to upgrade my node. Let's see here. Continuing. Let me see. Look at the addresses. Look at the volume. Not dollars, coins. Yeah, I figured that. I figured that. 35K. That's like, I don't know, a lot at 9 cents. So I might pick up a good, I don't know. I'm about to get this miner back on. So we'll see how that goes. And then most of my Kasp is in KRC20 tokens. So I need Kaspa and the recognition going so we can pump the KRC20 tokens. I was doing the KRC 20 videos and KRC just went all the way out. Let me see what we're looking for here. Da, da, da. Yeah, KRC 20 tokens are down bad, bro. Um, so last 24 hours, wow, lost 1,135 crabs, 18 octopus, 37 fish. Dang, the Aquaman sold. That guy's been holding strong. It's like they picked up a whale, three whales, and a humpback. Lost six sharks, dolphins. So definitely been a lot of activity on the addresses. Just refreshing this. 510,000 holders. That's weird. I thought was they flipped it up. Top address lost 15.7 million. This guy picked up 7 million. This uphold lost. Okay, so Gate.io lost 15.7 million. Wow. Uphold lost 7.4 million. Get picked up 2.4. Actually picked up 8.9, and Bybit picked up 5.7 million. Didn't Bybit just get hacked? Hold up. I guess they changed it around because I was looking for the top addresses. You used to be able to look address wise. Maybe it's no, because I guess they changed it up. Mexi added 7 million addresses or tokens. Let's actually look at the KRC 20 tokens. Tackle Invest has a good video with Christian. Also, Jesse had a good upload. Might check Jesse's out as well. I've been looking at Jesse's video. That's where I get some of my information up about the smart contracts coming. So I'm thinking the smart contracts is going to restart some interest back in and bring more community to Kaspa. Nacho down 5%. Kango's up 4. Kbot is up 28%. Or Castbot, $53,000 market cap. Wow. Let's see. What nachos? Wow, 12 million. I remember Nacho was like 40 million market cap. Let me see. Trying to remember some of these links. So let's see here. Caspiano. Just got to reconnect my wallet. So let's go check out this video to check out tactical investor. What is tactical investor talking about? See here. Might help us spell tactical right. Oh, this guy. Did I watch this video? I think that was a live stream, actually. No new videos. The Kaspa slowed all the way down. Let's see here. I think that was a live, actually, 3 days ago. Super bullish for Kaspa. Oh, we got a minute looking around. Let's see here. Um, you said start at the 30-minute mark. Let me see here. I was trying to see if you guys can hear it or not. Let me know in the comments if you guys can hear the video.
15-year-old hardware. And that's what makes it so decentralized, because anyone in the world with a basic computer can run a node, and you don't need some crazy, GPU, CPU stack and crazy knowledge of how to put all that together and integrate. For example, like Hyperledger's nodes or Solana's nodes, they're these sophisticated computers that can do Turing complete smart contract calculations and functions, right?
Right.
But those are the nodes. So you get the expressiveness and the speed, right, from those fancy computers that are the nodes. But what do you lose out on? The decentralization, right? Because it's not like me and you and everyone, their mom could run a node. Sure. That's why Kaspa.
Yeah, right. I'm tripping. Who is crazy orange glasses, dude? Those glasses are like crazy weird. It's cool, but it's not cool. I don't know. Let me know what you think, guys.
So decentralized and has so many nodes compared to something like Hyperledger, for example, or Hyperliquid, excuse me.
Yep.
So that was the initial conversation around Kaspa, is the current node system, which is kind of like, Bitcoin nodes. You don't need sophisticated hardware. It can't process like Turing complete smart contract functions. You need those bigger computers, more sophisticated computers for that. So the conversation is like, should we change that? And of course the answer is no, because it's part of what makes Bitcoin and Kaspa is anyone can run a node on basic hardware.
Right.
And that's what makes it decentralized. So that wasn't an option. So the second option is having a layer on top of the Kaspa network. And there's different ways you can do that. You can have a layer 1.5 and you can have a layer 2. So a layer 1.5 is another network of nodes on top of Kaspa, and then they will execute, as you see right here.
What up, Be More, Kaspa. We are here and we are live. It's been a minute, but we are back, right? Just trying to get some awareness about the testnet 11 and the BPS 10 upgrade in their crescendo. Yeah, no, dude had 1 billion Kaspa. Must have had inside information. No, I think he mined a lot and he bought some as well, but he mined a lot with the what is that? The big Kaspa miners. I think he bought like 3 or 4 in the very beginning. So he was in it before Marathon, right? And Marathon pretty much bought him out of business. I think he was ASIC minings. I think he started with FPGAs. Actually, I think he started with GPUs and moved up to FPGAs and then ASICs. But he was like the top miner for a while, right? Before who is this? Marathon took over, right? He was like one of the main Kaspa miners, and he was buying Kaspa. And I think he wasn't selling it, but whatever it is, somebody sold because there is no billionaire holding Kaspa. Let's get back to the video.
If you could highlight those red lines going to the L1. So the L2 provers.
So right here.
Yeah, you see those? Yeah. The L2 provers will do the smart contract function on their own network of node advanced computers, and then they'll send it to the Kaspa nodes, the basic nodes, just for basic ZK verification, which allows the layer of super.
Oh, wait a minute. This guy just sold his Kaspa? Where is that? Kaspa. Yeah. Right? The Aquaman is gone. This guy sold the billion? This is the guy? Interesting. Wish I could find that transaction, but that's going to be something later to check on. Let me see here. Where are we? This guy. Let's get back to the video.
For advanced computers like Solana or Hyperliquid's computers, right?
Right.
To inherit the decentralization and security of Kaspa's base network, because it's going for verification on Kaspa.
Got it.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
And there can be multiple layer 2 or layer 5 layer 2s that can verify on the Kaspa layer 1. So Sparkle is a layer 1.5. And the reason it's a 1.5 and not a 2 is layer 2 will have its own coin where all the gas fees are paid in that coin.
Got it.
And a layer 1.5 uses Kaspa for the gas fees and the functionality. And in theory, that's the best. Sparkle is doing it how it should be done, because it's almost like an extension of Kaspa itself versus a separate layer 2, as it's like a separate set of nodes for advanced functionality, but it's using Kaspa. that's the best thing you can do. And from what I'm hearing, Sparkle is like the
Yeah, be more, you're right. I'm pretty sure he's mining to multiple wallets, so that probably wasn't him. That might have been someone else that had it and sold or was spreading it out, not actually sold it, but I don't know. They might have sold it or swapped it for something else. But I think the Sparkle will win the smart contract, right? Sparkle or that Egon. I think the Egon project is the one that's doing the project that's similar to Ethereum, and I think it's Polygon, where they're processing on layer 2 and sending it back to Kaspa network. Yeah, Argon, I guess. How you say it? Argon? Igon? It's a company in Germany. I was looking at that a few days ago, trying to catch up on the Kaspa.
best engineering and the best technology. Will it be done first or adopted first? I don't know. That's what I'm questioning.
Sure.
And then you have layer 2s. Casplex is building one of these. Details are unclear there, but there's 2 others that I'm familiar with. One is Cas EVM, which is a side chain that's going to have its own coin. So again, just another network of fancy computers that can do these functionalities, and then will prove down via ZK proofs to the base level.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Igon will be like Polymatic, right? So they're processing it faster and then send it back to layer 1 and Kaspa, and Sparkle will be more like base. I think it'll be its own network, but I think Sparkle will actually do the smart contracts versus Agon will be doing more processing for the contracts. And it was something else. I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but there is one that is going to create a token to process it. I think send transactions back. Because he mentioned there's 4, and I was looking at like 5 or 6. 2 of them just kind of got going, but that's what we're here for, to get the information and to understand what is going on with Kaspa. We are back and we are live. Remember, dance with who brought you to the party. Don't forget that. We're trying to get caught up on all Kaspa updates and development.
Got it.
It'll have its own coin. Same with IGRA. People are familiar with IGRA. A lot of eyeballs on it right now.
Okay, so I'm such a moron. It's IGRA, not IGRA or Argo. IGRA. IGRA. I gotta say it a couple times so I can mess it up again. IGRA is the other project that's doing the pretty much copy and paste from Polygon. And once they are finished and release it, anybody can pick the project up, pretty much do the same copy and paste, hack the code, and they'll be able to do smart contract processing on their layer 2, right?
They're doing some cool stuff. I think they may be first to complete Kaspa smart contracts, and there's a lot of well-qualified individuals, ex-DAG Lab individuals on the IGRA project. I've talked to their team via Zoom before. Really well qualified and motivated to do what they're doing. The question is are they going to have their own coin or not? So are they going to be a layer 1.5, like an extension of Kaspa, or are they going to be a layer 2? Either way, it doesn't make too much of a difference. And obviously, they need to make their money at the end of the day, because this is not cheap to develop stuff like this. You need dozens of well-qualified developers. But yeah, like the space race is on, and it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Is it going to be the first mover that wins, or are people going to be patient and wait for like the most advanced technology? Yeah, it's unclear. I think it's going to come down between, in my personal opinion, between Igra and Sparkle. And I actually think both will coexist effectively, and they can coexist effectively. As we see in this image, there can be different layer provers verifying on the base Kaspa network.
I mean, I don't think it would be any different than what you have with the ERC20, right? You've got side chains, Polygon, many would consider Polygon to be a side chain. You've got ZK rollups on, the likes of ERC20. I mean, you've got base, which is, I would say base is kind of like a 1.5 because everything is in ETH fees. You don't have a base token.
Exactly. So that would be an example of a 1.5.
Yeah.
So essentially, Sparkle is like the base of Kaspa.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have loved that idea. Well, base obviously appealing because of Coinbase specifically, but base being extremely successful. And I think a lot of people appeal to the fact that they don't have to buy a base token for gas fees, right? And so there's
precisely
a huge appeal behind something like that. So everyone's going to look at options, but in the same sense, all of them equally coexist alongside each other. But in the end, there will be a clear winner that has more TVL, that has more users, that has more overall engagement. And it's going to be interesting to see what people choose over time. And that can change, right? I think we saw, over cycles, base surpass the likes of Polygon based on TVL and things like that change based on functions, functionalities, features. All those things play a role. But I think overall, there's a lot of exciting things. I personally am looking most forward to the 1.5 because I would rather have everything in CAS because that only brings more value to the miners. That brings more value to the token itself as far as people needing to hold CAS for transaction fees. I think for a lot of Kaspa maxis, many ways would look at staying native to the Kaspa token. I don't know. I think there's a lot of interesting things.
It's important what you just said. And I look at Sparkle as Kaspa native smart contract. And it because it's native engineering, it's not like EVM or anything. Okay, Igra's EVM, so it can just port over all Ethereum applications,
right?
Which that's super important.
Absolutely.
Okay, and if they're not a layer 1.5, so be it. But Sparkle is, and I would, that's like Kaspa native smart contracts. And from what I'm hearing, Sparkle can port over most Solana type applications, like 80% of Solana type applications. So I mean, the answer here is like, I think both will get adopted and we'll get the best of both worlds. And at least one will be native engineering of smart contracts to Kaspa. Even if Igra comes before Sparkle, like I think it will. And even if they haven't specifically said if they have their own coin yet, and if gas fees are going to be their coin or Kaspa, but they are calling it a layer 2. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think a lot of exciting.
Both are coming.
Yeah. And I think having options is a great thing, right? If it was just one and you didn't have many options, people love options. Whether or not they use all the options, people just love the idea of having choice, right? The freedom to choose. So I think overall it's going to be pretty interesting. A lot of exciting things, and that goes back to the value that's going to be derived. Hopefully, not even though maybe one gets adopted over the other, just this coming to Kaspa is part of the revenue that is going to be generated for miners, which is going to see a revitalization on that end. So,
and let's talk about the benefits of this. Like,
sure.
Okay, why are Kaspa smart contracts revolutionary? Or I should say, why are smart contracts on Kaspa revolutionary? Whether or not you're building EVM applications or copying and pasting open source EVM projects from Ethereum and building them through Igra, or whether you're doing that with Solana applications through Sparkle or building novel things through Sparkle. The question is like, why are smart contracts on Kaspa better than smart contracts on Solana or Ethereum? And it comes down to 4 things. It comes down to fees, right? How cheap are the fees? How fast is it? What's the finality of your boring complete smart contract function that you're trying to complete? And then what's the security and what's the decentralization? The fees on Kaspa are 1/10 of a penny, so that's cheaper than everything.
Yep.
Right. The speed, smart contracts are going to come after Crescendo and 10 blocks per second. So we're going to talk about that. The speed, once 10 blocks per second is here, is faster than everything. We're almost faster than Solana right now, but we'll be like 7 times faster than Solana with 10 BPS.
Right.
And then, so you win both of those categories, right? It's like the trilemma, but you got one more, and I just think of that as fees because people care about fees. And then you have security. Proof of work is way more secure than proof of stake. We don't need to get into that conversation. I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about.
100%.
And this is, Bitcoin like proof of work hash rate securing smart contracts, which has never been done before. Ethereum, well, after Ethereum switched to proof of stake. And then you have decentralization, and Kaspa is much more decentralized and has a much higher Nakamoto coefficient than the likes of Solana and Ethereum. So it truly is the Ethereum killer. And I did say that on our last interview, but now it's like coming to fruition.
Yeah, and I think when a lot of people looked at when I had my GPUs mining Ethereum, right? That the whole transition in many ways.
Yeah, I've been saying that for a minute, right? It's speed, right? As you mentioned, LB crypto, it is once you start talking about Satoshi, first off, but the speed of the network, which is blocks per second over the transactions, the speed will be what's the determining factor. Because if you know, Bitcoin is slow as I don't know what. So the major update would be a faster processor, right? You want to get up to the Visa speed, the Master Charge speed, the really fast transaction, or the block processing, right? And then you can get transaction processing. But the blocks would be the advantage in crypto. Who has the fastest block transactions or block processing speed and then transaction speed? But it would be about blocks and low fees, right? The problem with Ethereum is faster than Bitcoin, but it's feed up, right? Almost cost you the same amount in fees that you're buying. So that's definitely not efficient. And credit card processing companies, mortgage companies, heck, gas stations want fees or processing with cheaper fees. People already talk about American Express fees. A lot of companies won't even use American Express because the fees are higher. But when they get the speed faster, then they can put different. Ultimately, you guys know they're going to do processing through crypto, right? Credit cards is going away. Money's going away. And it's going to be crypto transactions, right? Ultimately. So once someone comes with a very fast, secure, scalable network, they're going to slide in right along with XRP because XRP is also doing cross-border payments. But it's not that they can do them, it's the speed they can do them at, right? Generally it takes 3 to 5 days now. XRP could do it in a few minutes. So whatever they're telling you, whatever FUD they're pushing, whatever doesn't like crypto, what your mom's sister's boyfriend's barber's telling you, they don't know what they're talking about. It's going to come down to what is able to process the transactions quickest and cheapest, right? If you're a business owner, would you want to go with something that takes 3%, 5% per transaction, or something that takes pennies? You're going to go with something that's cheap. It doesn't even matter if it's faster. If it's cheaper, you're going to make more dollars per transaction, right? You're going to make more money on every single purchase, sale, and order. And we in LB, when does this guy get to the Satoshi part? But I'm going to let this ride.
In many people's eyes.
There's actually some pretty useful information, some pretty good video.
it's killed the security aspect. And a lot of the reasons people were involved in Ethereum was the proof of work aspect. Now, in many ways, people compare it simply to proof of stake. And would you would you look at Solana or do you look at Ethereum? And the majority of people choose things with lower fees, faster transactions. And so Ethereum now competes in a field of much superior cryptocurrencies, which is why I think we've seen a ton of liquidity come out of Ethereum. In a lot of people get into Solana and other ecosystems. And one of the, in my opinion, what not necessarily a nail in the coffin for Ethereum, but it definitely put it in a separate industry that made it less appealing for a lot of people. And it's no longer in the same class, if you will, that Bitcoin is in, that some people would argue Litecoin is in, that Kaspa is in, from the proof of work aspect. It's no longer in the proof of work field, and it's over there running with the Solanas of the world. So interesting. I think a lot of great things that are going to become with the smart contracts, a lot of things that have not been done before with smart contracts to the degree that Caspa's done it, and will be successful to the degree that Caspa will do it. I think it's a lot of things that people don't appreciate yet, but people appreciate once they're actually in place. It's kind of those things that you can look forward to, that you can kind of fantasize about, that you're like, oh, this would be really nice to happen, but you don't realize how nice it is until you actually have it. And I think that
the adoption will be crazy fast.
Yeah.
It's not like we're starting from scratch here. It's like all sorts of applications on Solana will get ported over and rebranded. Ethereum applications ported over and rebranded. So once smart contracts are live, which they're, test nets are Q3, Q4, and then probably, or excuse me, Q2, Q3, and then Q3, Q4 mainnet. It'll only be a month or two before you start seeing applications pop up, like fully complete.
Yeah.
Because they just need to be copied.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see how much liquidity comes from other chains, how much liquidity comes from other layer ones and bridges over to Kaspa. It's going to be interesting for sure. All right. So last couple of things, or I wouldn't say last couple of things, but
I'm going to fast forward, but actually it's pretty interesting. So I'm going to let that ride out. Kaspa.com. What is this?
A couple of things that we want to talk about, Kaspa.com and KNS. With a lot of the additional features, a lot of the additional projects, as we see features being diversified, projects being diversified, dApps coming, there's a lot of exciting things that come, a lot of unique things that come. What do you have as far as Kaspa.com and KNS for us?
Sure. So as a disclosure, I am an investor advisor, kind of like a seed investor and advisor in both. But these are two applications that you will see pretty immediately port over to smart contracts when they're ready. Okay. Currently, both of these technologies operate off inscription technology, just like ordinals do with Bitcoin.
Okay.
And that's kind of what the whole ecosystem's been running on. It's like Bitcoin-like functionality, just at 1 block per second, which makes the whole experience much faster and better than the Bitcoin tokens or NFTs in my experience. So there are several projects out there, KSBR, Change Finance, and Caspiano. Now Kaspa.com was the original app marketplace.
Right.
That's not a Telegram bot. So they've done incredible work. They've put together this whole new UI, had lots of volume for tokens for the past 4 months. And now we just released NFTs, and volume's doing really well. And it's exciting to play around with. So this is one project, Caspunks, which currently has the most value. And then there's all sorts of other different projects minting out as well. So it's been fun to see that ecosystem grow. Things will be even faster and even more decentralized once smart contracts are here. But it's been fun seeing the ecosystem grow. And then KNS domains is essentially like the Ethereum name service for Yeah, for Kaspa.
Okay.
So if I needed to send you some Kaspa for some reason, you could tell me your wallet is tactical.cas, and I could type that in and send it to you.
Actually, I think that
Versus
one's taken.
copying and pasting. It might be, yeah.
Yeah, I looked up tactical investing. I got to connect my Casper wallet. I'll do
Yeah.
that later. But I actually looked up tactical investing, and someone had
Just do search. Just do search. I think you can search with that.
And I was pretty depressed that someone already.
Yeah, they're trying to sell it to you. It's probably what's going to happen.
Probably what it is. Someone's sold me hostage.
Yeah, but it's on-chain identity.
That's cool.
Yeah, super cool. And there are over now 16,500 inscriptions done, which that is not a small number. And that rivals or beats the launch of Solana domain services, and is pretty similar to ETH's domain service when they launched. And now they have millions upon millions upon millions of inscriptions.
Right.
So Kaspa is launching the first marketplace for KNS domains. So currently you can't trade them, but soon you will be able to trade them. And then they are getting more and more partnerships with different wallets. Like, for example, with CasFYI, you can search your domain and it'll find your wallet. If you're sending with Casware, you can just type in the domain, and then you can picture like Tangem, et cetera, coming in the future.
Right.
So pretty neat stuff, in my opinion, that's been going on in terms of having the ecosystem grow before smart contracts are even here.
Yeah, and I think that's the things like this, right? You have, like, for example, Ethereum name service is a $1 billion crypto project, right? You have these kind of things already coming in lines of Kaspa before you have smart contracts. I think there's going to be a lot of exciting things. Actually, the most impressive thing that I found about this is the fact that you guys have Kaspa.com as a URL was surprising me. I'm surprised someone didn't already have that snatched up. That I was like, there's no
well, they
way.
did.
Huh?
They did, and I kind of had a relationship with this group, and
Okay.
I got the deal done.
I was about to say the fact that you guys
got that. It wasn't cheap.
Yeah. The fact that you guys got that, I was thoroughly impressed that was.
Yeah, and we're gonna have an educational section. We're working on an educational section with different DAG visualizers and to educate people about Kaspa. And then you got tokens, NFTs, domains.
Yeah.
We're also going to have fiat onboarding with Apple Pay and a swap function to people swapping into Kaspa.
Okay.
So the idea is like it's the front end for Kaspa for people to play with, right?
Right. Yeah. I think it's super interesting. The fact that you had that as a .com was super impressive, and that makes it super simple and obviously trustworthy for a lot of people, where it's not like Kaspa.xyz or .io or whatever it is, right? So a lot of exciting things. I think these two examples are just small examples of some of the additional things, very, very small examples of the additional things that are going to be coming once smart contracts are here. And the last thing I really want to talk about is this here as an ongoing thing, as far as a lot of the speculation, a lot of the things that people have thought about, a lot of people that have hypothesized about, as far as who is Satoshi. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of the legend behind crypto in general. And even before I found Kaspa, I was kind of fascinated with the Satoshi rabbit hole. And obviously when I studied Kaspa, I learned that there could be a connection. And I am 99% confident of that connection of Jonathan Samplinsky being Satoshi Nakamoto, or if it's not him, his advisor, V Sohar being Satoshi Nakamoto, and being one of the main individuals in a group of probably like 5 to 8 people who were Satoshi. So my Twitter, my X handle will be in the description below on this video, and you can click on it, and the pinned post is my post for all the evidence I've gathered over the years.
Let me see. I'll just go to it real quick.
Yeah. And it's got a lot of views. It's got 233
I was actually tracking this Kaspa miner I just ordered, but I want to check this out. What the freak? I want to check this out. It's weird. I was actually trying to pull it up on
1,000
Twitter.
views.
Yep.
Christian, this guy. Okay, let's see if I can find that article or find what they're talking about. Let me see here. This guy. Yeah, I remember him from when he first started talking about oh, wow, 200,000 views? What the freak? 3 years researching Kaspa. I'm 100% confident Kaspa's founder, Jonathan Savinsky, is Bitcoin's anonymous founder, Satoshi Nakamoto. Interesting. I gotta. It's weird. Where's the dang article at? Yeah, where's the research at? This is just a picture of the guy's face on it. Did he mention where the research was? What the shit? Oh, that's a
1.6 thousand likes. A lot of this information has been around, and it was part of the reason I got into Kaspa back in November of 2022 was this theory. And then obviously this theory led me to research about Kaspa, and I discovered Kaspa did solve the trilemma, and I basically went all in on Kaspa. But I've been able to compile even more evidence, if you will, since then. And I wrote this kind of master thread. And to me, there are just too many coincidences and too many things that line up. But the question is like, what do we make of this? Why does it matter? Right.
Sure.
The truth is it doesn't matter if, Jonathan or Aviv are part of Satoshi or are Satoshi. They're not going to come out and say, yes, I'm Satoshi. They'll beat around the bush like they typically do.
Sure.
So I love what Wolfie put together here. It's like the why matrix of, do we need to know if Jonathan is actually Satoshi and what that means for Kaspa? So is Jonathan Satoshi? Yes. Then Kaspa's Bitcoin 2.0, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Kaspa was launched because, Bitcoin, Jonathan, Aviv, they went to these scaling Bitcoin conferences and tried to persuade the Bitcoin core group that took over after Satoshi left the forums to upgrade to have hard forks and upgrade to new Nakamoto consensus protocols like GhostDAG that Kaspa currently runs on. Right. But the answer was no, because Bitcoiners, the core group, they wanted it to never be touched. Right. So that's what happened. And then essentially what happened is for Jonathan to ever see his work come to fruition, which part of Ethereum was actually based off some of Jonathan's work. That's a whole nother thing.
Yep.
But in order to see it come to fruition, he eventually had to, or was forced essentially, to launch his own coin, to put his work into production, which after 9 years of research papers is well deserved.
Sure.
So is Jonathan Satoshi? Is Satoshi alive? If he's Jonathan, that's not applicable because Jonathan is alive. What if Jonathan is not Satoshi? Is Satoshi still alive? Then Satoshi was a one-trick pony and moved on to other things. And by the way, I think Satoshi saying he moved on to other things was working on a tree block DAG-like structure. But that's in the thread you can read.
Okay.
And the consensus is Jonathan is more gifted, and he himself, if he's not Satoshi, is kind of like Satoshi 2.0. If he's not Satoshi and he's not alive, then yeah, the consensus is he's just more gifted, and he's taking Bitcoin to the final stages of progression that Satoshi himself originally wanted to see and wrote about in his white paper, hence peer-to-peer electronic cash.
Right.
And even Satoshi mentioned in forums expressiveness, like the likes of Ethereum. So it truly is his vision, whether or not Jonathan is Satoshi. And I know it's cliche, and I know people are jaded with the whole Satoshi discussion, and I try not to have a cognitive bias, but just looking at all the facts, there's way, way, way too much coincidence and things that line up.
Right. Yeah, I think it's one of those things that's always um, fascinating as far as I don't think anyone will ever find
Who
out.
doesn't love a good rabbit hole?
Right? Who
Anyways,
doesn't love it, right?
Like,
It's one of those things that like it's great to know, but it doesn't change. In my opinion, it doesn't change the technology, right? It doesn't change
mhm.
what the aspects that Kaspa fixes in the crypto industry, right? So it like if everybody knew like that Satoshi was Jonathan, then obviously you may have a hype version of a pump in price, right? There may be a little bit more of hype and stuff like that, but it doesn't change the quality of the technology, right? So whether we find out, whether we don't, it's a fantastic, enjoyable rabbit hole. And I think in the end, Caspa as a whole stands to be far greater, maybe, at least in my opinion, far greater without that knowledge, right? Because then it's not driven by simply hype and superstition. It's more driven by the technology that's proving itself to be superior than the other technologies that.
Kind of what I was about to say too, right? I mean, it's cool if it is, but if it isn't, who cares, right? Push the technology. Kind of seems like it's a rabbit hole, right? I mean, it's cool, and people want to keep chasing it if it is or if he isn't. But if he is, why would you hide that fact, right? Or why would you not bring it out? And if he isn't, it doesn't matter. The technology is here. I don't think it really matters too much who brought the technology. Right? I mean, it would be cool, right? I'm not going to front like it's not like the best thing ever, but as adoption goes, how many people really know who founded Bitcoin, right? How many people even care? Most of the people who invest in it are investing in it because it's making them money, right? Make money your slave. It's getting to work and it's working. They don't care who invested it or who invented it or who's working on it. As long as it's pushing zeros, it's all good in the hood. But let me finish out this video with these guys.
Currently exists. So um, I think it's a lot of exciting things for Caspa, a lot of exciting things that have already happened, things that are getting ready to happen. 2025, I think, is going to be a big year for Caspa. It's also the first year that we're seeing Caspa in a bull market. Both of us were mining Caspa on GPUs and back in the bear market, really 2022. And when we saw the transition from Ethereum proof of work to proof of stake, there's been a huge life cycle to Caspa. And I think we're starting to see in the early stages, I think in many ways, when we saw Bitcoin, if you remember back in 2020 during the whole COVID thing.
Isn't that crazy? Especially, with smart contracts and EVM capability. It's almost like Ethereum is slowly being replaced.
Isn't it? It is crazy. Like, I mean, it's such a weird, and this has happened, for Caspa has not been around that long, right?
Yeah, that's what I've been telling people, man. Ethereum days might be numbered, right? I know the Ethereum guys are going crazy and wigging out, but the Ethereum fee thing is what I said initially, back when. If Ethereum doesn't find a way to control their fees, it's not going to be useful. And they are working on an upgrade to reduce the fee in the transactions. But even Solana, look how quick the Solana network took off. If we can get Caspa pumping and get these KRC20 tokens back on track and get some adoption, I think Caspa has a pretty good shot to overthrow or to knock out Ethereum. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments.
as far as a token itself,
Because that's how we found Kaspa was
Yeah.
we had to shut all, the merge happened, and we were like, crap, what do we mine next? So everyone's just digging like what to mine. And then researching.
Yeah.
And then Kaspa just happened to be there for everyone at the perfect time.
Timing was
Yeah. And then now it's going to be a far superior version of Ethereum. And it's almost like, passing on the torch.
Yeah, I think it was interesting. I mean, like,
and the market hasn't realized that yet.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that you can add that to your list of, Satoshi and Jonathan kind of correlation in that rabbit hole. Did Jonathan time the market perfectly with this whole Ethereum shift?
He did launch Kaspa at the Pico top of Bitcoin when Bitcoin was 69,000, the day of the top.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So either way, I think a lot of exciting things. I think a lot of people are going to be looking forward to the smart contract implementation. Be interesting to see who wins out on that. I think in the end, Kaspa will be the winner regardless, right? And so in the end, for a lot of people, and you go back to this market picture, I think in many ways, I still hold true to my prediction that I think Kaspa will, if we see the same type of rally we saw in 2021, the same type of euphoria that we saw in 2021, Kaspa will easily be over $1. I don't think there's a doubt in my mind. Some people will say that's very bearish, but I think you have to be realistic. But I think we haven't seen this, we haven't seen this, we haven't seen this, and we most definitely have not seen that.
No, the everything we've seen before this consolidation was repricing the fair value off of a fair launch. And I think there's two scenarios. One, this cycle is just a little bit stagnated by a bunch of black swan events and meme coins, and it's going to continue here very soon. And it's going to play out like the normal 4-year cycle. If that's the case, my Pico top prediction of $5 is still in play. However, if something crazy happens and we're at the top of this entire market or we're close to the top, I'm still comfortable holding spot Kaspa because there's just so much fundamental bullishness going on. And the technology wise, it's just going to swallow so much of crypto that it's not even a question that'll be the best performing asset in the bear market.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
it's a comfy hold either way. People are always trying to buy like, oh, what's going to pump within the next month or two?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, just hold spot and chill, because if it does run, it's going to have a better run than.
That was actually a pretty good video. Thanks, LB Crypto. They're about to have what? They're about to have staking in the ETF. 2024, the takeover will happen 100 BPS. If things still go well, but first, kind of fully eyeing the crescendo update to 10 BPS and see how that goes over.
Kaspa News. This is a bear trap warning, crypto and Kaspa family. Off the back of Donald Trump doing the funny thing again and announcing that we are moving forward with tariffs on Canada and Mexico, FUD is taking over the market and we are bleeding. But in my opinion, not financial advice, of course, this is just noise, useless and irrelevant noise to prove that the SEC's crypto enforcement crackdown is crumbling. It is dying, as we have already seen multiple crypto cases dismissed, which is a very positive development and sign for the trajectory of this space going forward. And then there is Kaspa, with many huge event catalysts incoming, potentially incentivizing these tier 1 exchanges like Binance to finally list Kaspa. We have huge 10 BPS updates and also massive institutional Kaspa money expansions, which tells me that the big money are eagerly awaiting for a Kaspa price reversal, and that all of this right now, this is just noise. Of course, if you are interested in learning a lot more and staying ahead of the game, exclusive content such as research documents and so much more for free, a 7-day free trial, then click the link in the description below to check out the Coin Factory CF executives. So right now we are witnessing a mass crypto liquidation event. Bitcoin losing the 92, even the 90K levels of support,
everyone, let's
and
talk.
is now trying to find stability at the lower level. And this is all off the back of Trump's announcement yesterday that the 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico will be going forward. So likely they will come into effect in the first week of March, which is next week. This, of course, has the crypto community worried about another trade war, and now extreme fear has flooded the markets, which was also amplified by the recent Bybit hack. While the crisis was averted, the FTX 2.0 PTSD still remains. Furthermore, we can see that Montana, North Dakota, and Wyoming have all rejected bills for state-managed Bitcoin reserves, further adding to this crypto FUD. But once again, in my opinion, again, not financial advice, I believe this is just noise. This is a bear trap. We have seen this happen every single cycle. In fact, if you go through the history of Bitcoin and crypto and the markets and cycles, you can see that we are typically used to seeing a 25-30% correction in these so-called bear trap periods. You can see in the 2021 cycle in January, we saw a 30% correction before running into its first market top in April around $63,000. And then similarly again.
Thanks, LB. Thanks for breaking the bank over there, big dog. But definitely get you a few Kaspa coins, $2.20 tomorrow. No, I'll definitely throw that in with the next batch. Hopefully we'll get another quick dip and we can pick up some more before this miner comes in, get these miners on the way, and see if we can get back to cheaply mining that cast, or actually mining something else and buying cast. It might be cheaper that way, but I'm definitely gonna figure out what to mine with the KS3ML.
So another market correction here, a 25% drop, another bear trap before making a new all-time high in November. Again, similarly, in this cycle already in 2024, Bitcoin ETFs, Bitcoin soared to 73K. We saw a 30% correction before we now rally to all-time highs. So we have seen much bigger corrections in the price of Bitcoin before a price reversal and a new all-time high, whereas right now, we have only seen a 21-22% correction in the price of Bitcoin. So there's definitely a possibility that we see Bitcoin and therefore the crypto market correct a little bit further. Only time will tell. But based on the new SEC's pro-crypto stance, which I'll cover later on in this video, and also thanks to the institutional insights that we provide exclusively to members of part of the CF executive community here, research tells me that crypto and Kaspa.
Nice to know the super chat's working. I was beginning to question if the button's still there, but I guess it is. Thanks for your support, LB, and thanks for bringing this video up. Finish this video.
Ever. So again, if you are interested, so exclusive content is going big on Kaspa, and better still, they are now trying to go public as they just filed for a $50 million IPO on NASDAQ. Begin Blockchain just disclosed boosting their Kaspa holdings from 1.4 million Kaspa in 2023 to 14.3 million Kaspa in 2024 last year. Such a massive increase, a 10x in such a short period of time, has the community speculating if they are positioning for a Kaspa supply squeeze, ultimately when the demand starts to outweigh the supply, thus resulting in a volatile increase in value. This information comes from the SEC registry itself, to which I'll leave a link to in the description below. You can go check it out if you want to. But to go into a bit more detail about this huge institutional development here, Begin Blockchain specializes in mining Kaspa alongside some other cryptos like Alpium and Radium, but they are heavily dependent on Kaspa. The company generates most of its revenue from selling ASIC miners under the Ice River brand, which is one of the leading Kaspa mining companies. Not just we saw a 10x in Kaspa holdings from December 2023 to June 2024, so in 6 months, Begin's revenues exploded from $15 million in 2022 to $257 million in 2023, and that is largely due to Kaspa mining and hardware sales. They are attempting right now to expand into the United States, Singapore, and Hong Kong, which is extremely bullish for Kaspa. A $50 million IPO on NASDAQ would likely increase adoption for this company and therefore for Kaspa, increase institutional confidence for Kaspa, and provide more money to Begin Blockchain, therefore better mining efficiency and a stronger network security for Kaspa. a publicly listed company is making big bets on Kaspa, this is no small feat. But don't forget as well, we also have institutional adoption, mining adoption in the forms of Marathon Digital Holdings. That was evidently only the beginning. Kaspa's adoption and price, therefore, is still in its infancy. Institutional adoption is going to come to Kaspa faster than ever before. And speaking of Marathon as well, according to KEF Vice President Johnny here, apparently he heard that Marathon has increased their Kaspa holding as well, which would be a very bullish indicator for Kaspa holders, potentially therefore preventing significant corrections in its value while Bitcoin and the rest of the market is bleeding. Marathon's next quarterly report should be released tomorrow, so stay tuned to our daily live stream where we will hopefully be going through it and you can find out a lot more. The next major update though is regarding 10 BPS, to which Michael Sutton stated almost a week ago that we are almost done with the realization of this KIP in bits and lines of code. There's seemingly very little left to do before the hard fork commences and we see the Kaspa mainnet transition from 1 to 10 BPS. Very bullish stuff. Furthermore, we can see him Super Typo, another developer on Kaspa. He recently published the 10 BPS readiness release version 1.1.x, which is an interesting read, basically highlighting improvements to the Kaspa indexer specifically designed to handle the demands of a high volume 10 BPS Kaspa network, as the 10 BPS network can generate a lot of data and overwhelm the indexer. So these proposed changes in this document here are all about the improving of the indexer's ability to handle the high data throughput of Kaspa's network, making it more robust and efficient for the integrators. But that is not all. According to Microsoft, and once again, if we can see it from Elperor, the next step, which I believe is the feature freeze function, will be pushed out no later than Sunday/Monday incoming, so 2nd and 3rd of March, this weekend. So we are very close. We are in the end game even for this hard fork, which may act as the event catalyst, bringing in more demand and volume for Kaspa, thus incentivizing the tier 1 listings to add Kaspa to their platform. Because just think about it and remember, the KRC20 relaunch and the KDAO launch, both this resulted in significantly increased volume for Kaspa, close to if not over 500 million 24-hour volume on the daily time frame. Now, of course, the market may be in a different situation right now than it was, a few months back, but with the institutional Kaspa mining expansion that I just mentioned, and with the SEC's crypto enforcement crackdown crumbling, I personally am optimistic for what is to come for Kaspa very, very soon. As we can see here, the SEC has recently, all within the span of 1 week, in fact, announced the dropping of the Coinbase case, the OpenSea case, and the Robinhood case, which is all extremely bullish news. It's just rather unfortunate right now that this has been overshadowed by this current FUD. But with the developments, it seems evident that the SEC is accelerating the support and adoption of crypto, not even trying to save face and settle, but just dismissing the cases in their entirety. What will be next? Could it be Uniswap's? Could it be Binance's, Kraken, Gemini's, or even Ripple and XRP's case? Time will tell. But that is not all, though, for this pro-SEC data. Here we can see the new crypto task force has updated its industry meeting log and showcased many new entries with prominent crypto companies and industries. Even, as we can see in a second, Michael Saylor, one of the biggest Bitcoin maxis and advocates for Bitcoin, met with the SEC very recently. And there's also now, I believe, that with this SEC's newfound interest in staking, apparently they are very, very interested in staking. There's also a belief that they may reconsider their lawsuit against Consensus, which was sued last year over their MetaMask staking services. There are many more developments coming for crypto and Kaspa. Ignore the noise, lock in, come chill chat and learn more on the CF community. Again, link below. And remember, don't be emotional, be logical, and I'll see you in the next one.
That was a pretty good video as well. Gonna do I'm really interested about their lying to you, but I'm gonna do my main man Money and I real quick, and then that's weird. Why is there no that's the recent Jesse videos? Something's not right with the search. But you guys always after Crypto John Boy. But let's see what Money and Me has to say real quick.
What's going on with the price, because man, the market took a nosedive and it brought Kaspa down with it. So how low are we expected to go? I'm going to pull up the charts and give you guys my opinion in just a second. I'm also going to be talking about KRC20 meme coins just briefly because it's been a while since I've talked about them, right? But first, for anyone looking for a great crypto exchange, make sure you check out my link to BTCC, 10% bonus on one that is interested, right? So first of all, let's take a look at what's going on in crypto. This is what we're seeing. And this has kind of become the norm. It's like any day, anytime I wake up, this is what I expect to see. If I see green, I'm going to be shocked, right? Because I have just gotten so used to just seeing red day after day after day after day, especially on the weekends. And yeah, it is just what it is at this point, right? Like if we take a look at the Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin's dominance is at 60%. This has become the new norm, unfortunately. Take a look at Ethereum's gas fees. It's basically at the lows. This is a time people want to be buying Ethereum meme coins if you're interested in buying Ethereum meme coins, right? It's just complete devastation in the market. Now, if we take a look at X here, I see that this one person continues to buy. So they says my personal cash amount is growing constantly. I'm buying as much as possible with my salary. They're buying $50 here, $100 there, and they plan on buying the fear. So they don't plan on ever buying or ever stop buying Caspa. And that's what it comes down to. As long as your conviction is there, and as long as you've done your research, then when the price comes crashing down, you're just like, whatever, it is what it is. I'm going to let the market do its thing, and I'm going to buy the dip because I feel like buying the dip, not because someone else is telling you to buy the dip. Someone will always tell you to buy the dip, whether it be on Caspa or another coin. There will always be someone out there telling you, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. Caspa's sitting at 17 cents. It just came from 20 cents. Buy the dip at 17 cents. Caspa goes from 17 to 16 cents. Buy the dip. Caspa goes from 16 cents to 15 cents. Buy the dip. Someone will always tell you guys to buy the dip. And with me, I keep it completely 100. I don't tell you guys to buy the dip every single second. If you've been watching me for a while, you already know how I operate. The dip has to be worth buying. You're down 50% on your investment. Okay, time to buy the dip. Or if you only put in a very tiny amount, then you can slowly start buying the dip every time the dip comes down to like 25%. It all just depends at the end of the day, right? But we don't be buying these dips just because the coin went down like 2%, down 5%. You're not dip buying, you're buying at the same price. In my opinion, you guys need to realize nothing is financial advice. I can always be wrong or I could be lying. So still, make sure you guys do your own research. All right, but if we take a look here at the charts, right? Kaspa is sitting at 9 cents. Okay. Now, if we zoom out a little bit, I don't know why it's not zooming. There we go. Zoom out a little bit. We can see that Kaspa, the last time, recently, February 5th, Kaspa came all the way down to 7 cents. I still can't believe this happened. The market is just, it's on another level right now, right? So Kaspa came down to 7 cents March or February 5th. All right. Do I think it's going to get back down here? If I'm keeping it real with you guys, I don't really think so. I believe Kaspa will probably get as low as like 8 cents, like 0.081 in this area right here. This is where I think, let me draw it in actually. So I believe this is the area where Kaspa will probably retest again, but I mean, we have to get some positive news in the world, in the market. Like something needs to change because it's just looking very nasty. As we can see all the way back here, actually, this was January of 2024 when Kaspa was sitting at 7 cents, right? And in February, it actually dipped slightly below that, which is a little bit crazy to think of, but is what it is. The crypto market is very volatile and we don't just go up only. If we take a look at this indicator, we can see the last bearish momentum was fired on February 6th. Nothing since then. Let's see, what time frame is this? Let's switch over to the 4-hour time frame. Matter of fact, a buy zone was just fired yesterday. So February 24th, a buy zone was fired, but we are still in this bearish momentum and it's been here for quite some time, unfortunately. But again, if you have conviction in the play, then it is what it is. Okay. Let's get into some KRC20 meme coins because it's been a while since I've talked about them. So Nacho, the leader of the KRC20, is, man, it is taking a beating. I have never seen Nacho sitting at 12 million before, right? But the current market cap is at $12 million on Nacho here. So just complete devastation. I believe the high for Nacho might have been 65 million. I could be incorrect, but the reason why I am not pulling up the charts on the KRC20 meme coins right now is because most of these coins are well below the charts. So the charts isn't going to give you any sort of proper information. I can only go based off of past history because I've been here since the very beginning. I've seen these coins run from basically nothing all the way up to its peak of whether it be 65 million, 50 million, 45 million. Like I've seen it. So I'm basically just talking based off of price action that I've seen in the past of these meme coins here, right? And I've never seen Nacho this low. And this is just telling you where the market is right now. Until Kaspa completely skyrockets based off of some positive news, we're going to potentially see continuous downside pressure on a lot of these KRC20 meme coins. Like Kango sitting at 5 million. If downside pressure continues, it is possible where we could see a $2.5 million Kango. And at that point, I am going to be buying a lot of Kango. And if I see Nacho around maybe like 8 million, somewhere between $5 to $8 million market cap, I'm going to be buying a lot of Nacho. Same with Caspi. If I see Caspi around, I don't think Caspi is going to hit $1 million market cap again, but anything is possible. I do own all of these. If I see Caspa or Caspi below about under 2 million, I'm going to probably add to my position as well. Casper, complete devastation. I don't think I'm going to add to my Casper position there, but we do see some coins that are no longer in the top 100, right? Or not top 100, sorry, in the top 20. Okay, so a lot of strength. These are the coins that show significant strength, right? Even Quoke sitting at just under 500,000 has been pretty incredible. Yeah, like this just shows you that the community is strong here for Quoke. Community is strong here for Casper, Caspi, Kango, and a lot of these coins here, these are the types of coins that you want to be paying attention to if you're interested in the meme coins, right? So I'm thinking Cat or Nacho, Kango, Caspi, Casper. You could consider Gold as well. What else? Quoke, because the market cap is very low there. And anything else? We'll see where the other ones go. I haven't really been paying much attention to these ones down here, so I'm not really sure if they're still active on Twitter and stuff like that. But what I noticed on the second page is Dog Knight sitting at 444,000. This was a big player in the space sitting on in the first page for a very long period of time. I believe at one point it was probably the top 5. Now it's completely crashed. Like it's just let you know, meme coins are extremely volatile. Enter with money that you're willing to lose. And just be careful when it comes to buying meme coins. But again, if you believe in Caspa, then you should definitely believe that some of these meme coins are eventually going to make a epic comeback rally, and it's going to be crazy. It's all just my opinion at the end of the day. I can always be wrong. Do your own research. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like and
So definitely buy the dip. LB Crypto. All right, last video, and we'll shut it down for the night. What is this? What is this guy talking about? This guy's pretty funny.
They are lying to you guys. They keep lying to you. We have a lot of YouTubers that keep lying to you about you're gonna get rich from Kaspa. Kaspa is going to $10. That's total BS. Total BS, man. Really, you want to pay attention to the chart because you can get seriously wrecked from buying and holding Kaspa in the next year or two, man. Okay, I'm gonna show you why. Look, this is a log chart Kaspa, okay? This is a monthly chart here on the log picture, okay? Kaspa is up from the lows in 2022. June 2022, it is up more than 1,000x, okay? More than 1,000x, okay? It's still holding relatively well its value, but the downside risk is massive, okay? It's massive. Even if it's gonna go to the middle of the chart, okay, to the middle of the log scale, we're talking about 1 cent, okay? Will you be able to hodl when your count is going 90%, 95% down? I don't think so, man. I don't think so, man. No, not a lot of people can hold a downtrend of like 90% in their account. Now, they are lying to you. I'll show you the lies, man. The lies are insane. This guy, you know, CG calling for Kaspa going to $15. This guy calling Da Vinci calling for $10 Kaspa. Okay, because look at it, 140,000 views for this nonsense, man. $10 Kaspa, man. You know what is $10 Kaspa? It's Kaspa bigger than, you know, bigger than BNB, Solana, and bigger than XRP together. You know, all of them together. This is insanity, man. Okay, look at it. Look at these baby boys, man, going to $15 from 15 cents to $15. Look at this baby. Bought this guy. These guys. Who are this? Look at this guy. Cas will power the world. BlackRock all in. Total lies, man. Total lies. BlackRock is not buying Kaspa. If BlackRock would buy Kaspa, the price will explode, man. The price will explode. Okay, you can see they're coming up with Vitalik talking about Kaspa. It is all nonsense telling you to buy their bags, and you're buying downtrends. Pretty much you're buying now. If you're buying Kaspa now, you're pretty much buying the top, man. All right, sir, make sure to smash the like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to show you a few indicators that not looking good. Again, you want to subscribe to this channel because once Kaspa will flip bullish again on the macro picture, we're going to tell you, okay? We're going to tell you when we're buying Kaspa. We're going to tell you when it's a good time to buy Kaspa, invest in Kaspa, hodl Kaspa, and we're going to tell you also where you want to get out of Kaspa if it breaking support or some critical levels. We're watching because you always need to look on the both ways, man. Those people only look to the upside, to this fake upside, and they're whatever they're smoking, man. They're smoking something insanely strong. That, man, they're calling for $10 Kaspa. That's insane. Okay, so subscribe to this channel. We take care of you. Now look, this is monthly chart. Okay, this is the first thing you want to see with Kaspa. Okay, on this chart, you want to see the stochastic on the monthly tick back up and cross back up. Without a stochastic cross on the monthly, there is no bull run. There's no bull run. No bull run can happen, man. Okay, think about it like that. Keep it simple. First thing you want, stochastic RSI cross back up, because that will give bulls momentum on the monthly picture and will send it. Okay, they can send it. Now you cannot send it. Okay, then after that, you want to see the cross on the 2-week trending higher. Okay, trending higher. Okay, 2-week and the monthly, those are the most important close. Now again, and you
Yeah, even this guy's logic saying it's possible, right? He's saying it's could happen, which means it's gonna happen, and he is definitely trying to hype us, right? Trying to get you to not buy. He's probably stacking Casper going to 1 cent, then he's saying, I'm ready to buy is bullish. So he's saying it's gonna go. He's just saying it's not gonna go soon or as soon as you think, but it doesn't matter if you get it now or get it when it goes up, right? It's gonna go up.
want to see downtrend flipping. Okay, this is a downtrend now. Okay, we broke. You can see this breakdown here. This is a 2-week candles. Look at this breakdown. Okay, so it's on a breakdown. We're gonna close this candle in like 5 days. Let's see how it's gonna close this candle. If it's gonna close below these levels, it's gonna be the first 2-week candle to close below these critical support for the last 15 months or so. Okay, now if you look on the weekly as well, weekly already closed 4 full candles below the support. So what does it tell you? It tells you, hey, there is a problem. There is a problem because the big daddy, the big Kaspa kahuna that was buying here, okay, this is the big daddy, okay, call it the big daddy of Kaspa. The big daddy, the big buyers of Kaspa, they're not buying, man. Whatever they're telling you, you know, oh, this guy is buying, oh, this wallet just bought Kaspa, blah, blah, blah. But they're not buying, man. If they were buying, this thing will go on a bull run, okay? The bull run will explode, okay? They're not buying, man. They are selling. This is a distribution. You see, this stuff is a top distribution. What comes after the top, after the distribution? Usually, 90% of the time, you will get a declining phase. The declining phase can be 1 year, few months, and it can be even a couple of years, man. And then, it can get nasty. Okay, Kaspa can go on a bloodbath. Okay, from here. Okay, there is a lot of downside that it can go. Remember where you're coming from. Always remember where you're coming from when you're buying crypto, investing in crypto. Always look to the left. Is it extended? Is it overbought? Or is it just starting? Okay, always look like that, man. Keep it simple.
Yeah, I think I might get his trading course to see what kind of interesting and lucrative deals he has. Definitely not. Definitely not. Take my own chances and my own risk. You guys should know that, right? I'm definitely not going with anybody else's advice. Do your own research and due diligence. I just wanted to play that to shake it up a little bit, guys. And this has been a pretty long live. So probably do another one Thursday. Same bat channel, same bat time. Definitely not doing anything tomorrow. Probably not Thursday either. Got a lot of stuff to catch up on. But thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit you up with the super chats. Appreciate you, LB Crypto. Guys, what do you think about Kaspa Coin? I actually was in K-pop for a while. Let me see, where is it? Is Kaspa? Where is it? We had Kaspa FYI. Yeah. You said K-pop. Where's K-pop? K-pop's up 15% actually. But as far as the dog meme coins go, I'm riding it out with Conan. Looks like Conan started to bounce back a little bit. Finally starting to run a little bit. CYA fam, definitely. Definitely deep in the KRC20 tokens. But thanks for joining. And as always, let's get back to the money, guys, and stay dangerous. Miner out.